everyone, welcome back to Beginner Pilates series. This is video 4 within our series. If you missed any of the previous videos, go ahead back and watch those, and then let's just get started with video number 4. Go ahead and lie all the way down. Make sure you've got enough space around you. Let your body just relax onto the ground. Hug those knees in if it feels good. Take a little rock. A little twist. We're going to keep adding on to what we've already done in the previous 3 videos. We'll repeat some things, we won't repeat everything, but we are going to get to some new things today. However, let's start as Joseph Pilates did with our hundreds. So you can have your knees bent with your feet down. You can have the legs in tabletop apart or together. Or you can have the legs straight. Easiest, harder, hardest. You want to make sure that whatever you choose, that your pelvis is nice and flat. With the legs being long, it's more weight. Bringing our pelvis, tilting our pelvis forward. Our limbs are away from our center. It's harder to contain them, to control them. It's just more work on our core, which is why that's harder. My suggestion would be to start with your feet down, knees bent, and if as we go that's feeling good and you want to try tabletop, go for it. If tabletop feels good and you want to try straight legs, go for it. Your head and shoulders will be curled up, arms are hovering just hip height, strongly up and down. We'll inhale, let's do the traditional breathing today. We'll inhale for 5 and exhale for 5 for a total of 100. If the neck starts to hurt, always rest the head down. Have your legs where you want them. Reach your arms long, and that's another thing too to think about. Reach long through the fingertips so there's energy through those arms. Curl the head and the shoulders up. Pump those arms and inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. Inhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Rest everything in and down. Hug those knees in. We're going to continue with our abdominal series, our series of 5, and we'll take a little break in between each. First up is our single leg stretch. Curl the head and the shoulders up. Keep the right leg in, straighten the left leg long, and then switch. And switch. Switch. And switch. Try to keep your shin parallel to the floor when your knee is bent. Don't let the foot drop. Don't let the leg turn in or out, or the ankle come in or out. We want to stay nice and aligned parallel, and that's what our hands are helping just to keep that alignment. Continue to alternate one leg and then the other. Make sure you're breathing. One more with the right leg, one more with the left leg. Head down and rest. Double leg stretch is next. Legs will stay together the whole time. Curl the head and the shoulders up. Straighten both legs in the air. Reach the arms overhead. Exhale to bring everything in. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Again. Bring it in. 2 more. Last one. And then rest the head, rest the legs for a moment. Single straight leg stretch is up next. The legs will stay straight the whole time. Bring the knees in. Curl the head and the shoulders up. Straighten the legs to the ceiling. Lower the left leg. Hold on to the right leg. Do a little pull, pull, and then switch. Pull, pull, and switch. We're trying to keep long behind the knee. It's so common for that leg to bend because we want to think we're going to bring it in as far as we can. Not necessarily for this one. You want to keep the legs straight. So it's not necessarily going to come in as much as it can, as it is going to stay straight for as long as it can. Let's do 2 more right leg. 1 more each leg. And then rest down. That was single straight leg stretch, double straight leg stretch is next. Legs will stay together. Go lower down as low as you can go without letting that pelvis tilt forward or letting those abdominals push up. Those are cues that the legs went too low. You're gonna curl the head and the shoulders up. Take your hands behind your head. Straighten the legs towards the ceiling. Feel your tailbone nice and heavy and really weight it down into the floor. Press one leg into the other. Take an inhale as you see how low can my legs go today, and then exhale when it's time to lift. Inhale to lower. Exhale. 3 more. 2 more. Last one. And then rest down. You can keep your hands behind your head because they'll stay there for our last exercise in our series of 5, crisscross. Legs will start in the air in tabletop. Curl up in the center. Twist to the right and straighten the left leg. And then switch. And switch. Switch. And switch. Feel the back of the pelvis heavy. Just that upper spine is rotating. 2 more each way. 1 more. And then rest down. Everyone, that was our series of 5. Go ahead and bring those feet down. Let the body relax for a moment. We're going to continue on with our bridge. A reminder, anytime the hips are elevated or your legs are going over or we're doing any kind of rolling, you always want to keep your head centered. So you never want to look side to side. That can injure your neck, injure your spine, and then cause more damage, and we don't want to do that. So always keep your head centered when you're doing any of these kinds of exercises where the pelvis is lifted, or which we will see in a later video, when the legs are going overhead. But we're not there yet. That's the next video. So keep going. Alright, but we are going to do our bridge. So make sure those feet are underneath you. Thinking about shoulders, hips, knees, ankles, heels, toes, all aligned and all kind of, I was going to say contained, but I don't want you to think about feeling contained, but I want you to think about feeling solid and put together and kind of having these anchor points through the body. Arms are going to be down on the mat. Try as much as you can to not let the shoulders lift, but to almost feel like you're rotating and you're pushing this part of the arm, this part of your shoulder, into the floor. Gently, of course. With the feet underneath you, feeling all 10 toes down, feeling the heel down, feeling a little lift in the arch of the foot. You're going to tuck your pelvis under, lift your hips, engage the backs of your thighs and your butt, and peel the spine off the mat. Don't go so high that your rib cage opens, but finding that height where it feels good to you, where you feel one long diagonal line, and then rolling down. Try to grow longer and taller as you go down. And one kind of trick, I don't want to say trick, but keep going with the bridge and I'll tell you about it, is that as you are rolling down, think about shifting your weight forward in your feet. When you're in this bridge, maybe you can like rock a little bit forward and back. That's an interesting activation in the legs. As you go down, don't let your weight stay in your heels, but think about shifting the body forward. Let's try one more with that in mind. Tuck the pelvis, lift the hips, peel the spine up, and then rolling down. Once your tailbone touches, turn your head side to side. Good. From here, we are going to go on to our roll-ups from here. So, this is a challenge, and let's just see how it goes. It is an experiment. It is not a challenge. It's an experiment because I want you to approach it with curiosity. So let the legs go long underneath you. Reach the arms to the ceiling. Let the arms go all the way overhead and notice what happens to the center of the body. Is your rib cage opening? Is the back arching? That's probably what's happening because the arms are all the way overhead, and that's just how we're put together. From here, lift the arms up. Feel the rib cage soften and settle down into the body. Feel the pelvis flatten out. Arms to the ceiling. Just a partial roll up to start. Inhale, and then exhale, and just look towards those feet. I'm a little crooked, so I'm just gonna adjust where I am. And then lower back down, and arms overhead. I'm gonna shift my hips a little too. Arms to the ceiling. Again, 2 more times, just that partial roll up. Lifting head and chest, reaching the arms, glancing down at the rest of the body, and then lowering down and letting the arms go slightly overhead. 1 more time. Inhale, exhale. It's that exhale that's gonna help you come all the way up, which is what we're gonna do next. Arms to the ceiling. Inhale, exhale, bend the knees, grab the legs, round up, straighten the legs, sit tall. Before you can think about it, just go back down. Reach those arms. And then again, arms to the ceiling. Inhale, exhale, reach for the legs. Sit tall. 1 more like that. Arms to the ceiling. Inhale, exhale. Sitting tall, and then take a stretch forward. Reach for the toes or the ankles or the shins. Whatever you can get to. If you want to reach across, go for it. All right, next up, something new, rolling like a ball. So what I said before with the bridge comes into play. You never want to turn your head side to side. And we never want any weight on our head or on the back of our neck. We always want to think about the weight coming to our shoulders, to our upper back, because we have more strength there. This is a little less protected, a little more precarious. So with rolling like a ball, it's a lot like it sounds. You're going to come into a ball shape. You're going to bend the knees, you're going to hold on to your shins, you're going to lift your feet, and you're going to round the spine, looking down. If this is a difficult position for you to get into, knees can be open if it's tough on the hips. You can also let go, but that's a little harder. So I would say that if this is a difficult position to get into, skip it for now. You don't have to do it. There's other rolling exercises that we can do that are not as compacted. And we will do one, we did one, open leg rocker is one of them. So if this feels too crunched, don't worry about it. I would say just have the legs in the air, feel that core engage, and just try to find your balance here. You can let go with one arm, you can let go with the other, see if the legs stay, while we do just a few rolling like a ball. So, to roll like a ball, make this ball shape, and we're gonna stay in this ball shape the whole time. What I want you to not do, try not to kick the legs up. You're gonna roll back, you're gonna roll up. Take an inhale to start, and then exhale. Stay rounded, and again, round back, round up, round back, round up. 2 more. Last one. And then sit all the way up. Okay, so if that didn't feel good, don't do it anymore. Make sure, I should have said before, and I apologize, that you have enough cushioning underneath you. Perhaps you found out that you don't. So if you want to try it again, hit pause, go grab an extra towel, mat, blanket, something to put underneath you to kind of cushion the spine. You can also just be down here and just kind of go back and go forth, go back and go forth, which is kind of a broken down rolling, which I think we have done this in a previous video. So that is another option. which is, it's getting that articulation of the spine slightly. It's elongating the spine slightly in the sense that we're rounded over and we're just kind of going down and up. This is your spine, this is the floor. Down and up along the floor to grow a little taller, to create more space in between the vertebrae. This was not the best analogy, so don't worry if you didn't understand. Okay, so that was rolling like a ball. Let's try a few more if they felt good. I would say exhale on the way up. I cued that, not the best. Don't hold your breath. Let's try about 3 more if you would like. Rounded shape, core is engaged and locked in. When you're ready, rolling to the shoulders. 1 more. Good, guys. So that's rolling like a ball. Let's sit in a comfortable cross-legged position. And then just take a twist to the right. Take a twist to the left. Be a little more intentional with it. Take an inhale in the center to lengthen the spine and grow taller. And then exhale. Twist to the right. Reach the right arm behind you. Inhale here. Exhale, untwist. Stay center, inhale. Exhale, twist left. Reach the left arm back. Stay there, inhale. Exhale, untwist. Take the right hand down, take the left arm over. Side stretch. Keep your butt down. Keep space between your ear and your arm. Don't let the arm fall in front of the face. Keep the shoulder down. Energy through the arm, through the fingers. Come on up, other side. And then come on up. Now, we're gonna open up the front of the body. We're gonna work the arms. We're gonna work the back of the body. We're gonna do something called the leg pull front. Fingertips face you, hands are behind you, and you want you to think about that you're hugging the body with the arms, even though your arms will be behind you. Legs are all the way together, hands are back here. We're not gonna lean back, but I want you to start as tall as you can on the sits bones. Take the hands back slightly. From here, you're going to push down in the hands, activate those arms, activate the glutes, less glutes. Lift the body. Not so much legs for this one, certainly arms and back. And then lower down. 2 more. Press down, lift. Ideally, we want to find a long body. Come on down. One last one like this. And then lower down, and then go ahead, come off of the hands, do a little stretch for the wrist if you need to. This can be challenging. If you only lift a little bit, that's fine, I'll take it. I want you to feel those arms activated, hugging the body, and I want you to feel the shoulders opening and rotating. I want you to keep the ribs closed, keep those abs in, keep the legs squeezing together. I'm gonna give you a variation because I think you can handle it. If we didn't get all the way up there, I would say leave this variation out for now. Wait until you can get there and feel comfortable there, and then add the variation. If you felt comfortable there, that's amazing. And then we'll just do 1 variation. Hands down, lift the body. Right leg, lift and lower, lift and lower. 1 more, lift and lower, body down. This is not beginner. But if you're going for it, I'm so proud of you, and you're doing great. Left leg. Starting with the legs together. Pressing down and lift. Feel in control. Feel balanced, and then lift and lower that left leg 3 times. Lower down. And come off the hands, take a stretch. Take a stretch. Good, guys. It's kind of a lot on this part of the arm. Flip on over, hands and knees. Continuing to work the back of the body. If your wrists are bothering you from having done that, come onto your fists. Round the spine, arch, round, and arch. 2 more. 1 more. Right, bring the feet together, let the knees open, take a child's pose, stretch. Take 2 more breaths in this child's pose. And then bring your body back up, back to hands and knees. So what we have done before in this hands and knees position, we have lifted one leg behind in the air. I think we lifted and lowered it. We're gonna add on to that, but we're gonna start with just that leg. So hands and knees, tuck your right toes under, straighten the right leg behind you, keep those hips level, point the right foot and lift the leg. If this feels good, reach the left arm forward. Stay there, keep reaching. 3, keep the core lifting. 2, and 1, and everything back in. Feel connected, feel aligned, feel grounded, lifting the belly button towards the spine. Tuck the left toes, stretch the left leg, point the foot, lift the leg, but not the hip. Not about height here, about alignment. If that feels good, reach that right arm forward. Keep reaching long for 3, pushing down against the floor. 2, abdominals lifted. 1, and back in and down. But come off of the hands for a moment. Rotate those wrists if you need to. All right, we are going to do leg pull back, which is also on the hands, but I think I want to give the wrist a break for a moment. Come all the way down to your stomach, and then bring your hands towards your shoulders, elbows towards the ceiling, hugging the body. Legs long behind you, about hip distance apart. Make sure that they're not turned out and wide, but we really want to try to work parallel for this one. Hands down, lift the head, lift the chest, lower down. Lift the head, lift the chest. Lower down. This is our swan. This is only a partial swan though. 1 more. And then we're going to lift a little bit higher if it feels okay. We want to be mindful of the low back there and that we're not crunching. If you feel that happening, your pelvis might be tilted, so you might want to press the pubic bone down into the floor. You might want to think tuck, but not necessarily. It just depends on your anatomy. So we don't want to have the butt lifted, but we want the butt to be flat. Hands on the ground, lift the head of the chest, press down in the hands to lift a little higher, and then lower down the front of the spine. Lifting. And lowering. Notice if your feet want to lift off. Try to keep the tops of those feet down onto the floor the whole time. 1 more swan. Arching that spine. And then all the way down. And then rest. You take your hands under your head. Rock those hips side to side. All right, our leg pull back. There is the possibility that I am mixing up those names between leg pull front and leg pull back. However, the next one is essentially a plank that rocks forward and back. That being said, you can come down to forearms and elbows. Traditionally it's done on the hands. That's how I'm going to show it. But we can do that variation too. So come onto your hands and then extend one leg long behind you. And when you're ready, extend the other leg long, and then bring the hips in line with the body as much as you can. Just stay in this plank position for now. Push against the floor with the arms. Feel your heels reaching towards the ceiling. Feel the backs of the legs reaching towards the ceiling. Feel the abdominals lifting, the belly button lifting towards the spine. Stay here. 3, 2, 1, and then come to a downward dog. Walk your hands back, pedal your feet. Bring the knees down, take a child's pose for a moment. And then when you're ready, we're gonna find that plank again, and we're gonna do our leg pull. If this plank position was rough for you today, don't be too hard on yourself. You can try the leg pull if you want, but if you're not feeling it today, you can try it another day, and that's okay. So if this feels okay, point that right foot in the air. So we have 3 limbs on the ground. If that feels okay, rock forward, rock back. Rock forward on the left foot and back. 1 more. Place the right foot down, bend the knees, rest. That's all it is. We're gonna do the other side. And then we might leave it there with our leg pull. But we can do it again in the next video too. And you're always welcome to do more of something if you want to keep trying it. All right, find that plank. When that feels good, lift the left leg off and point that left foot. Rock forward, rock back. On the right foot. 1 more. Place the left foot down and then rest. It matters how you start an exercise and it matters how you finish an exercise. So I know that things get harder the more you do them, the more reps there are, but always try to be intentional with your start position and with how you end. So when we're in this plank and we have one leg in the air, and oh my god, it's so hard, it would be so easy to just collapse down. But really try to be intentional and have that like integrity, the integrity of the movement, really, to just finish with all 4 limbs down and then to come down out of it. And it's safer too for your body to intentionally finish an exercise. Anywho, that was leg pull. Take a child's pose if you're not already, just take a moment. We're gonna go on to a couple more new things. We're gonna be on the forearm and elbow. We're gonna do our side body work today, different than what we've done so far. So set yourself up on the left side. You're gonna be up on the forearm and elbow. Legs are underneath you. We have options for our legs. You can have them stacked. You can have them staggered. I would say if you're on your left side, have the left foot in front. Yeah. If they're staggered and you're on your left side, have your bottom leg in front. Or they can be stacked. Or right foot can be down. Let's start here. Right foot down, left leg long. Left arm down, right hand down. Finding our side plank. Press down with everything that's touching the floor to lift. Feel that core engage. Feel that side of the body long. And then lower down. Do that again. 1 more. It can be a little bit awkward if you don't have the flexibility to get this leg up there. So another option that I want to give, have those legs long, stack them, hand down. Think about lifting your hips. We've got everything else down on the floor to help. Push, and then come down. Push up, and come down. 1 more. Push up, come down. Rest for a minute. Take it in stages. If side plank can be hard, we want to think about a flat body so that we don't rock back or rock forward. It uses the arm, it involves the shoulder, it involves the wrist. So there's a lot of pieces that go into it. So it can be very challenging. Take it in stages, meet yourself where you are. If those options didn't feel good for your body today, try staggering the legs. I don't know if I'm using that correctly, but both two sides of the feet down. So you've got a kind of a wider base, and then lower down. Try 2 more of those. See if you can take your right hand off with any of those options. Make sure too that this forearm that's down isn't like, you know, that is right underneath the shoulder. Let's try 1 more. And then down. So we're getting into our side plank. I want to give you one variation in our side plank. I'm going to give you another one in our next video. But since I've just introduced side plank, I don't want to give you too much. So whatever foot, leg position you felt best for you, go ahead and take that. Right foot on the floor, right knee bent, legs stacked or legs staggered. Make sure the elbow is underneath you, and then with the body too, don't let this happen because that's no good. Like there's nothing going on there. Engage, lift, engage, press. Find your plank. If you are able to lift this right arm off, take it to your hip. Lower down. Try that just one more time. Let's make sure we have that balance and that strength today. And then down. All right. This arm is going to do something and the body is going to do something. We're going to do a side bend in our plank. So we're going to find our plank. This is our last little variation for today. Feel okay with one arm down. Take the right arm to the ceiling. Reach the arm over, that lifts the hips. And back to where they were. Lift and where they were. 1 more. And then down and come up. That was our side bend in our plank. That's a lot on that arm. It's a lot to lift those hips. When you lower the hips, notice that I said you come back to where you were. I realize that I'm staring at a light and I'm not staring at the camera, so I'm so sorry if I've been like off this whole time. I'll show you on the other side, but when you take that side bend and you lift those hips, you don't want to go all the way. You can, it's a choice to go all the way, let the hips go all the way down. But for now, we're just gonna lift the hips and come back to that side plank. But let's figure that out on the other side. I will not stare at the light. So you're gonna come down to your right forearm and elbow. Legs are underneath you. Body is active and not just all the way down. Options for those legs. So bending that left leg, left arm down, pressing the hip up and down. Do a couple in each position because we did a couple in each position on the other side. We just want to make sure we're even. And then go ahead, stack the legs. Keep that left hand down if you need it, but do kind of make a mental note of what feels the most stable, what feels like I can lift my left arm off. And you will probably be a little bit different from side to side. And then go ahead and stack those legs with the right leg on the bottom. Right leg is going to be forward. Lift. And then lower. Lift. And then lower. 1 more. And then lower. And then rest for a minute. It's also different being on the forearm and elbow. You're closer to the floor. You're not going to lift as high versus being up on the hand, where you do lift higher because you have more to go. So, but we're going to stay on the forearm and elbow for today. All right, so our next step is to bring the hand to the hip while we're lifted. So choose your position. I'm going to choose the same one I did on the other side and see how it goes. Lift to that plank. Take your left hand to your left hip. Lower down. Let's do that again. Lift. Find the balance. Make sure there's no tension in that right hand. Lower. One more. And then lower, and then come on up for a moment. You might find that you want to stretch that side of the back. All right, our side bend. We can do it, we can do it. All right, legs of your choosing. Elbow under shoulder. Make sure that the shoulder is not lifted, but down into the back. Everything is connected and solid. Press down to lift, hand to the hip when you can, hand to the ceiling. Lift the hips, arm overhead, back to start. Overhead, back to start. Overhead, back to start. And down, and rest. Good, everyone. We're gonna do another variation next video, and then we might try it up on the hand also. Just be mindful of wrist as well. So, nice job. Come on back to your backs. Lie all the way down. Let your knees fall to the left, turn your head right. And when you're ready, let the knees fall to the right, turn your head to the left. Coming back to your back, to a figure four stretch. Cross your right ankle over your left thigh. Reach forward, grab onto the legs. If this is uncomfortable, you can grab a strap. Take the strap around the leg and pull the legs. You can also do this sitting on the edge of a chair, taking a little lean forward. When you're ready, switch legs. And then when you're ready, uncross. Hug those knees in, take a little rock side to side. Hold on behind the legs. Rock yourself forward. Legs can be messy, but you make sure you use the core. Make sure that your arms are pulling the legs are pushing the arms. Don't hit your head. 2 or 3 more. All the way up. We're going to go into open leg rocker proper. Sort of, we're just doing it. So legs in the air as wide or a little bit wider than your hips, starting with a tall spine. You will round the spine and then roll, roll, sit tall. Round the spine, roll, roll, sit tall. Round and roll, roll and tall. 2 more round. Sit tall, last one. Sit tall, and bring the feet down. Open leg rocker, we did that already. Closed leg rocker, same exact thing, but the legs are all the way together. Press one leg into the other, be mindful of the midline of your body. Will help you roll down the center of the spine. Long flat spine to start, and then when you're ready, round the spine, roll, roll, sit tall, rock, and rock, sit tall, rock, and rock, sit tall, 1 more, and sit tall, and then rest. Good. I'm going to give you the third version of that, because I think you can handle it. Straight legs. Keep holding on. Round, round, sit tall. If you need to bend the knees at the top, I'm okay with that for right now. If you want to keep the knees bent as you start and then straighten the legs as you go, I'm okay with that too, as long as it's intentional. But if you can, try to have straight legs the whole time. Round back, round, sit tall, round, round, sit tall, one more. And sit tall. If you get stuck, that's okay. All right, open and close leg rocker. Last up for today is our teasers. We did teaser 1 last time. We're gonna do teaser 1 again, and we're gonna do teaser 2. We might do teaser 3. We'll see how we go. So teaser 1 is where the lower half of the body stays in the air, the upper half of the body lowers and lifts. Teaser 2 is where the lower half of the body lowers and lifts. Teaser 3 is where upper and lower go down and come back up. First up, teaser 1. Find your balance with the legs in the air just like they were for our closed leg rocker. Reach the arms long. Keep the legs there with control and intention. Gently bring yourself to the mat, but don't get too comfortable. Inhale and exhale to come back up. The legs are right there if you need to hold on to them for support. Another option, if this is feeling easy, you can do the whole thing with straight legs. Take the body down. And then back up. One more, teaser 1. And then rest for a minute. So, teaser 2, the legs will lower and lift. It's not going to be a huge movement because of how we're built. When our legs go down, our body wants to go back. So we're going to find what that range of motion is. Starting with the legs bent, reach the arms long. Another option is to have the hands behind you to help with balance. You're going to lower the legs and then lift. Try not to let anything else move. One more. Grab those legs and then rest for a minute. So, smaller movement than teaser 1. Let's try this with straight legs. If you're not feeling straight legs, we'll try 3 more with bent legs. Hands where you need them. Let's have them. I'm gonna have mine out there. Lower and then lift. Lower. One more. Grab the legs and then rest. Let the knees open. Take a little stretch forward. I'm going to save teaser 3 for our next video. Just so you know what's coming. Good. And then bring the body all the way up. Cross those legs. Walk your hands forward. Open up the arms to the side. Walk the hands back. Let the back relax. Walk the hands back in. Give yourself a hug. Switch the arm that's on top. Give yourself another hug. Be in a comfortable seated position. Let your ear fall to your shoulder. Let the head drop in the center. And then bring the head up on the other side. And then back up to the center, reverse. Ear to shoulder. Lower in the center, drop. Over to the other side. And then lift. Head circles. Drop the head to the right, circle forward. Left. Gently lift in the back. All the way to the center. Reverse circle right. To the back. Center. Drop in the center, and then lift all the way up and sit tall. Nice work, everyone. A little shorter video today. We didn't do everything that we've done so far, but I gave you a number of new things to focus on too. So I think we're gonna do one more video in our beginner series. So tune in, and I'll see you next time. Have a good day.